now, side by side again, into turn one, ever so close, and Tony has him.
I think we came of age on those two laps because we saw nothing but side-by-side racing after that.
Nearly lost in all the excitement of the IRL's debut race at Texas Motor Speedway, and its first ever under the lights, was the terrific performance of the cagey, go-karting veteran, Mark Dismore.
I've got pictures of me sitting in my dad's lap in a go-kart, and it had a license plate on it back before Uncle Sam was so unfun, and the cart actually had a license on it, and we drove the cart to my grandma's house for a family reunion, my dad and me, and my mom came in a car.
Growing up just 20 miles south of the Speedway, Mark Dismore has spent his whole life dreaming of the 500.
You can walk in there when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, and there's, you know, as soon as you pull in the middle of the place, you can tell there's something special about it.
In 1990, he captured the Formula Atlantic Pacific Division crown, a title that earned him a ride at Indy in '91. But fate can sometimes be cruel.
There's definitely a good side to this whole thing. It's just, unfortunately, got to drive through the rain to get to it. And, I'll, you know, start taking care of my body now and get all this stuff ironed out. And hopefully next year we'll put this whole deal back together and, you know, learn from my mistake. And I don't plan on making it twice.
Incredibly, Dismore found new hope later that year when car owner Dan Gurney gave him a call.
And that was the most motivating phone call I think I've ever had in my life. It was basically to the effect that if you can show up at Daytona, we're testing at the end of December for the IMSA test, and if you can walk to the car and you don't need sticks to walk to the car, and mentally you feel fine and physically you're good to drive the car, we'll run you some laps and see how you feel. I feel like if this is something you still want to do, or if something's left your, you know, your spirit, basically, if I've lost the desire there. And I came in and he's basically, how do you feel? And I said, I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off of my shoulders because I knew that I still had, in me whatever it was I had in me before I got hurt. And I was so afraid that I would be afraid. You know, that's what my biggest fear was fear.
By 1993, he had won the 24 Hours of Daytona, and in '96, made it back to the Speedway with John Menard. Things really began to gel for Mark Dismore late last season. He led his first IRL laps at Las Vegas. Then in the 1998 season opener, Mark and his new team, Kelly Racing, were out front again, leading with just a few laps remaining, but ran out of fuel. Then in March at Phoenix, teammate Scott Sharp was victorious. The Kelly team has proven capable of winning. Mark knows he is too.
I never give up, ever. If I'm 2 laps down in a race for some reason, I'm trying to get one of them back, and then I'm going to try to get the other one back. I'm never going to give up, ever. And I hope no one ever gives up on me.